represent into the Teams chat, and this will serve as our attendance sign-in sheet. And lastly, if you have any questions or comments during the presentation, we ask that you enter them in using the Teams chat feature, or you can wait till the end of the presentation when we have our time for our Q&A session. Okay, I think with that, we're ready to get started with this morning's webinar. I'd like to introduce you to our Assistant Commissioner of Community Investment and Economic Revitalization, Elizabeth Dragon. Good morning, Elizabeth.
Good morning, Fawn. Thank you. Well, hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to welcome you to today's webinar, where we will be exploring an exciting initiative out of the State Land Acquisition Program focused on enhancing accessible open spaces within our urban communities. As Fawn mentioned, I'm Elizabeth Dragon. I'm the Assistant Commissioner for Community Investment and Economic Revitalization here at DEP, and I am honored to lead the program that Green Acres calls home. I also want to thank you for joining. Today, we are reminded of the vital role that green spaces play in our neighborhoods. These areas provide opportunities for relaxation, recreation, connection, greatly contributing to our overall well-being. Our aim at DEP with this initiative is to forge some strong partnerships with you and the local governments to create and improve these crucial spaces. By collaborating, we can also ensure that every community enjoys access to safe and welcoming open spaces, but they are also tailored to your unique needs. So this collaboration is not only amplifying Green Acres and open space, but we also are respecting and integrating the distinctive characteristics of each community into our planning. So before I dive in, I want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all of the incredible staff that have been working on this initiative, and you will hear from some of them as we move forward. I just want to let them know that their efforts have been instrumental in bringing this initiative to life. So thank you all for your commitment to enhancing our communities and for joining us on this transformative journey. Thank you.
All right, I'll take it from here. Again, as Elizabeth said, we are very excited to share this information on our expansion and creation of urban parks state land acquisition strategy. But I want to just take it back a little bit to tell you a little bit about who we are. The Green Acres program has been dedicated to increasing New Jersey's open space and parkland since 1961. And while most of you are probably familiar with the local acquisition and park development side of the program, Green Acres also is home to the Bureau of State Land Acquisition, which basically acquires land on behalf of the state. I'm Fawn McGee. I'm the department's chief of Green Acres State Land Acquisition Bureau. And our bureau basically acts as the real estate agent for the department, acquiring lands, all of which have been offered for sale by property owners that meet our department priorities. When we work on these properties, Green Acres doesn't actually own the properties that we purchase. Once they're acquired, those lands are assigned to our department's land managing divisions, Parks and Forestry, our Natural Lands Trusts, or Fish and Wildlife. And then they become part of the state parks, natural areas, and wildlife management areas that you're probably familiar with throughout the state. Now, our State Land Acquisition Bureau oversees every aspect of the acquisition process. Like I said, we're basically a real estate team. So we do the planning and selection of properties, the environmental reviews. We contract out for and review appraisals and title reports and surveys. We handle all the negotiations with the property owners, and we even package up the necessary documents to hand off for the closings to happen. We acquire open spaces in cities and suburbs and communities throughout New Jersey, helping to improve the quality of life for residents and visitors alike, hoping to create environments where people want to work and live. And we've updated our website to raise awareness among local governments like yourself and property owners and real estate agents about the benefits of selling or donating land to the state. With this proactive marketing campaign, we've continued to compete with land development pressures. And we've updated our website to show the steps of our state land acquisition process, and we've highlighted the direct financial benefits of selling land to the state. So now everyone has the access to this information for a better understanding of what the state land acquisition side of the Green Acres program process is able to do. We've also organized this webinar to spread the word that the State Land Acquisition Bureau is actually opening to collaborating directly with you, the local governments, on identifying key properties for preservation. This morning's webinar is basically on the expansion and creation of Urban Parks Initiative, which focuses on increasing close-to-home open spaces and neighborhood parks. We've seen some of the challenges faced by every level of government in meeting public recreational needs and in facing competing demands and limited resources. With this urban initiative, we are especially committed to meeting the unique challenges faced by you, our urban partners. Your local planning is important to us, and we recognize that economic development is key to the quality of life for your residents. And that is why we want you to guide us on where your open space needs are. With the partnerships we're hoping to create, we want you all to know that you can have our assistance with the acquisitions of properties that make sense to you. At this point, I'd like to turn it over to Rhonda Coe, who is our State Land Acquisition Urban Liaison, with more on this initiative. Rhonda.
Thank you, Fawn, very much. At the heart of the Urban Acquisition Initiative is partnership. It's important because urban communities often face complex redevelopment challenges, such as the need to increase ratables and stimulate economic activity, efforts often hindered by obstacles like abandoned buildings, obsolete rail lines, undersized lots, and contaminated brownfield sites. These barriers can delay progress and limit opportunities for revitalization. At the same time, we understand the transformative power of green spaces. Parks and open spaces are not only essential for physical activity, but they improve mental health and foster a stronger sense of community. They serve as vital gathering places where residents can connect, whether through casual interaction or walking trails or participation in organized events, ultimately enhancing social cohesion. Moreover, parks are powerful economic drivers. They contribute to local economies by supporting jobs, increasing property values, attracting visitors, and making neighborhoods more desirable. In fact, local park and recreation agencies generated over $2 billion in economic activity and supported more than 1 million jobs nationwide, according to a study by the National Parks and Recreation Association. So partnership is important. By acquiring properties on the private market, the Urban Acquisition Initiative helps urban cities unlock land that will create and expand green spaces. This investment directly improves community well-being, supports economic development, and advances our shared vision of equitable access to parks and recreation for all New Jersey residents. The Urban Initiative is a collaborative partnership between DEP and urban municipalities. Under this initiative, the DEP will take the lead in acquiring and demolishing targeted properties for green spaces and recreational use. However, to ensure long-term success and sustainability, it's essential that cities commit to maintaining and managing these properties. To achieve this, we propose a co-ownership model in which cities hold as little as 5% ownership interest in the property. This small yet meaningful stake in ownership demonstrates a true partnership and enables cities to apply for hazardous discharge site remediation funds when environmental cleanup is necessary. Additionally, cities can apply for Green Acres local assistance funds to improve the property for public outdoor recreation. To formalize this partnership, cities would be asked to adopt a resolution committing to co-own the property, provide long-term maintenance and management services, apply for HDSR funds through DEP if remediation is required, apply to Green Acres for local development funds for site improvements, and enter into a management use agreement with the state, clearly identifying the roles and responsibilities of both parties. This framework not only facilitates the creation of much needed green spaces in urban areas, but it also strengthens the relationship between state and local governments in advancing shared environmental, recreational, and community development goals. What does our in-house process entail? To ensure that each project is aligned with local priorities and community needs, DEP undertakes a multi-step internal review process. We begin by examining a city's master and/or open space and recreation plan to gain insight into its long-term vision, priorities, and areas of greatest need. These plans guide our understanding of where green space can have the most impact. Now, I should note that municipalities undergoing plan updates or reexaminations are still eligible to partner with us. There is no formal application process for the urban initiative. Municipalities are encouraged to discuss their vision with DEP at any time throughout the year. Next, we conduct a detailed GIS analysis to assess a range of environmental and socioeconomic factors, including environmental burden, socioeconomic vulnerability, flood-prone areas, wetlands, and green space access, with a focus on 10-minute walkability. The 10-minute walk metric is the equivalent to approximately a half mile for an able-bodied person to walk to a quality park or green space. This analysis helps us identify and prioritize neighborhoods and districts where investment in open space will have the greatest environmental, social, and health impact. Next, we use CoStar, a commercial real estate platform that identifies properties currently on the market that may meet the city's needs and align the goals outlined in local planning documents. CoStar has been our go-to resource, our trusted ally for accessing firsthand information on current market availability, property details, time on the market, and ownership data, which can be exported into GIS-compatible spreadsheets, enabling spatial analysis for deeper insights and more informed decision-making. Now, I've worked in urban cities for many years with departments of planning and parks and recreation, and this is the first time I've heard of a state agency willing to partner with a city to acquire property, privately owned property, to further a city's vision of expanding and creating green spaces. So DEP, this is impressive. And finally, our process ends and begins with you, our partner. Following our thorough due diligence, we meet with the mayor, county officials, and their teams to present our understanding of your open space needs and share the results of our property search. More importantly, these meetings give us the opportunity to listen, to understand your city's most pressing open space and recreational needs. Our mission is clear: to directly support your objectives for open space development. This matters because, as noted earlier, we recognize the challenge cities face in balancing the need to increase ratables while preserving land for parks, recreation, and environmental sustainability. As your partner, we are prepared to acquire and, when necessary, demolish properties that align with your vision. Together as co-owners, we will support applications for site remediation and environmental cleanup and the development of parks and open spaces. Our work is designed to serve both goals: to unlock economic growth and development opportunities without compromising your city's long-term commitment to livability and sustainability. What our funds can be used for. We can use our funds and assistance to plan with you, to track properties, market status through CoStar, to observe and oversee the diligence activities, which include ordering appraisals, title work, hazard reviews, and ordering surveys. We can sample for environmental contaminants through a third-party consultant, demolish properties, and acquire land as a state asset. What we can't do with state land acquisition funding is clean up contaminated sites, which is why co-ownership is so important. Develop properties, we can't do that, but Green Acres local program funds are available for park improvement through the application process. And we aren't able to provide long-term maintenance and management services. And so we look to you to partner with us on this wise. What have we done so far? Our outreach efforts began in September and October of last year, focusing on the state's Community Collaborative Initiative, or CCIC communities. CCI Communities is a partnership between DEP, local governments, and community leaders. It's designed to transform environmentally distressed areas into hubs of economic growth and sustainable development. CCI draws on the expertise of DEP's Office of Brownfield Reuse and the Brownfield Development Area Program to support long-term revitalization. What makes CCI unique is its grassroots approach. Each community is assigned a dedicated DEP point person who coordinates across programs and ensures local voices lead the way. This allows DEP to effectively align state resources with community priorities. CCI empowers municipalities to drive their own transformation. And most recently, our outreach has been to you, representing New Jersey's 62 urban aid cities. We believe your leadership is key to shaping a future that balances environmental responsibility with economic opportunity. What have we accomplished to date? Well, in 2023, we successfully closed on the Pine Point Marina in Camden. We anticipate closing on a property in Jersey City this fall, and currently we're working in several CCI communities and urban aid cities. Here's a photo of the two properties I referenced. The first, Pine Point Marina, was acquired in 2023 by DEP in partnership with Camden County. Located on the Delaware River, this property was purchased using funds that will also support acquisitions in your city. We are eager to collaborate with you in a similar capacity, building on the successful model established with Camden County. With $1.46 million in National Fish and Wildlife Foundation funds secured by DEP on behalf of the county, this partnership will continue with the transformation of the marina. The project will be shaped by public input and guided by a comprehensive restoration plan focused on enhancing the Delaware River's urban shoreline. It will include environmental cleanup, plan development, permitting, and a long-term operations and management strategy. In addition, we anticipate closing this fall on the second key acquisition, a property on Edward Hart Drive in Jersey City. The existing building will be acquired and demolished to expand recreational space as part of the ongoing enhancement of Liberty State Park. These projects illustrate our commitment to supporting local priorities through strategic property acquisition, environmental restoration, and public space development. And we look forward to creating similar success stories with you. We are also pleased to be building partnerships with several cities to expand and create parks and green spaces for residents in their community. The city of Bayonne, we plan to purchase a small lot identified by residents for development into pocket parks. At the city of Elizabeth's request, we anticipate requiring a rail line to support a downtown Rails to Trails project. In Patterson, we are partnering with city and county officials to acquire property along the Passaic River. We anticipate acquiring property at a strategic gateway in the city of Salem. We are partnering with the city of Trenton to acquire property in both the East and West wards. And finally, we are working in partnership with Union City to acquire property for future development. What are the next steps? Well, let us know if you'd like more parks and open space. We hope you do. Pull out your master and/or open space plan. Hold discussions with your team on where you'd like to create and develop more open space or recreational areas. And don't forget trails. Think about whether you'd like to partner with us in a joint ownership or DEP only ownership. And lastly, reach out to us with your ideas and target areas. Here is how you can learn more about the Green Acres State Land Acquisition programs and contact us with questions. To schedule an appointment with me, please use the following link below, and we really look forward to hearing from you soon. As we wrap up, I want to reiterate that our ultimate goal is to preserve New Jersey's natural resources and improve access to open space and recreation. It's very important to build spaces in areas near people's homes and workplaces. By continuing to innovate and collaborate with local governments like yours, we are dedicated to ensuring that the Green Acres program remains a vital and effective tool for promoting environmental sustainability and enhancing the quality of life for all New Jersey residents. Thank you very much for your attention and participation. Now let us answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Rhonda. Okay,
You're
we can
welcome.
open it up for questions via the chat or raise your hand, and we'll hear what you have to say. Okay, John, I see your hand up. I'm going to come off mute and we still can't hear you, John.
John, we can't hear you. Would you like to put your question in the chat?
So common issues with not being able to hear people, if you hit the down arrow button next to the mic, you can sometimes find multiple speakers or microphones that you might be going through. So hitting one of those might change your audio.
Okay. Still nothing, John? Yeah, try putting your question in the chat. Okay, let's see. Janice Talley, you have your name up. Well, why don't we shift over to you while John's figuring out his mic?
Can you hear me?
We can.
Yes. Okay. I apologize because we had a fire drill in the beginning of this presentation. So I missed part of it. Is this a rolling application or is there a deadline?
There's
There
no
is-
deadline.
It's
Oh,
a
go ahead,
rolling
Rhonda,
application.
please.
No, there's no deadline. It's a rolling application. You can contact us anytime throughout the year and with questions or to request a meeting with us.
Okay, that's fine. And is there will this pay for the full acquisition? Is there a local match requirement?
It will pay for the entire acquisition. A part of our initiative, though, is a co-ownership model. And what that means is essentially because we aren't able to provide maintenance and management services, we'd like for cities to take on that role. And because many of the properties may be environmentally contaminated, you'd be able to acquire funding for remediation. And so a co-ownership interest is what we'd like to see.
Okay.
But there is no match. And we're asking for as little as a 5% interest in the property.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And just to add to that, that joint ownership means that you have the ability to do a lot of the things that you think are best for that property for your residents. As Rhonda
Okay.
said, buying for the state will still be have ownership interest in the property, but you putting in that 5% allows you to have a lot of control on the day-to-day to what is happening. And as Rhonda said, we're not only looking at the program that will notify us when properties go on the market, but if you've identified properties that are important to you, we're going to do the research on those properties and reach out to those owners, or work with you to reach out to those owners at any time of the year to see if they're willing to sell their property. So with state land acquisition, it's more fluid in that it's really based on when a property becomes available or when we have the ability to reach out to a property that is a priority for you.
Okay, okay, so even if there's condemnation.
We
uh,
don't condemn. No eminent
You
domain on
don't.
the state side. That would be something the city would have to do on their own.
Okay,
So we do start with an application from the owner, and that allows us to say that they are voluntarily participating in this process. So our money's coming in from corporate business tax, state funded, and so we are not allowed at this point to use eminent domain to acquire property.
if the township has identified privately owned property that they would like, that they would like to develop into a park, do we contact you? Do we contact what's the next step?
I think we have a meeting or a discussion and see
Okay.
what the best strategy is. Sometimes if someone in the city knows that property owner, that's a way in to get to the table, to have a discussion, to see if the property's not on the market yet, or if it went on the market. If it's on the market, we can reach out immediately.
Okay,
If it's not on the market, then we want to talk to you to see what the best strategy is on reaching out to that property owner. It may be you, it may be somebody over in Public Works, it may be somebody that coaches a basketball team in town that knows the owner. So we want to hear from you the best strategy on making that first contact.
okay, all right, thank you.
Mhm. Any luck, John?
Can you hear me now?
Yay, we can.
Oh,
We
you can hear me now. Okay.
Yes.
All right. I don't know what happened, but everything was turned on before. Yeah, I have it's a little different question. Most of this was about urban space. I'm in a rural town, Warren County. Developer had about 50 acres backed up to Jenny Jump Park, and the town already purchased it. There's an 8-acre pond on there with a dam that the DEP wants us to remove. We are looking to remove the dam, remediate the drained area, turn the area into a park with walking trails, etc. I know what you have discussed here today doesn't exactly address this, but where would we turn for any kind of state assistance or just knowledge or whatever we could as far as this goes? The town is, being a rural town, everybody on the council, they're all volunteers. There really isn't a wealth of knowledge when it comes to something like this out here. So basically, where do we go from here?
Well, you're saying that it's municipally owned, which is wonderful. It sounds like an amazing project, and I salute you for the efforts that you're making there. Our Green Acres Local Funding Assistance Program has a yearly application process. So unlike state land acquisition that is rolling and constantly open, the local program will have an application process that will probably open up later this fall. And it's for acquisition or park improvements. So if you're looking to do trails or put in park amenities, you would complete that application. You could go to our website and you could look for the project manager that is the contact for your county or your municipality, and they could guide you on specific types of eligibilities for the type of work you might want to do. The things would be eligible for payment, eligible for a grant and or a loan potentially. I'm not sure if you have a planning incentive grant in place that allows you, well, this is an acquisition, would be development, so it would be park development. So likely is that there would be a loan aspect, long-term loan. But you can look at our website, the local funding, park improvements, park development, and they will be able to get you a contact to talk to, the application, what it looks like, so you could start to see the types of things you're going to be required to do to be eligible for that funding. And I believe it usually closes in around February. So you have fall into early 2026 to complete that application and get it in.
Okay.
But we've got a wonderful team here. So if you go to the Green Acres, njgreenacres.org website, you'll see the contacts. You could see the contact for your area, and you can give them a call and they can walk you through some of the steps.
Okay. Thank you
And
very
good luck
much.
with the project. Sounds
Thank you.
wonderful. Yeah.
John, your the project manager dropped a message for you. So
Yeah, I didn't
Oh,
see,
perfect.
that is here for you.
I saw that pop up and then it disappeared from my screen. I didn't catch that in time.
So it's Kimberly Testa would be your contact.
Kimberly Testa.
Kimberly,
Okay.
Testa.
Testa. And Kimberly is Berly.
Kimberly,
Yeah.
Kimber, yes, Ly.
Okay.
And
All
her
right.
email is kimberly.testa@dep.nj.gov. Thank you for putting that in the chat, Kim.
Very, very, very much. Thank you.
Of course. Yeah. Good luck. Okay. Anyone else? Any other questions?
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Thing in the chat. Okay, no other questions. It was a great presentation, Rhonda. So I think you really covered a lot of the bases. I think the big takeaway we hope is that you all consider working with state land acquisition to acquire properties. You know, the benefit is sometimes with a community buying the property in an urban setting and then getting that property ready for use for your residents is complicated and costly. And what we're hoping to do with the state land acquisition funds is offset the burden of that initial cost to preserve and acquire that property so that you have that money to put towards the back end of making that property available. So again, we're not choosing these properties. We want you to choose the properties. If properties come up and we can sit down with you and designate an area or different properties or regions with or neighborhoods in your cities that make sense to you, we can identify those areas within the CoStar application. And when properties pop up for sale, we can immediately forward those to you to see if they meet the criteria of what you're looking for. So we're really looking for your guidance on this. So please, when you have a chance, reach out to us, tell us what neighborhoods you'd like to see preserved, and we will work with you to preserve those properties. Oh, Samuel, I see a hand.
Hi, good morning. Yeah, I just had a really quick question. I know we
Sure.
mentioned cities a few times. Are counties also eligible for this program?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
Often a city doesn't have the capacity. So, our first example Rhonda gave was Camden County. So in that situation, property is located in Camden City,
Okay.
but we worked with the county to preserve Pine Point Marina. So
And then the county's
the city, the
ultimately
county-
responsible for maintaining it?
yes,
Okay.
yes, we'll work in partnership there because the state is actually looking at that whole Delaware back channel waterfront. You look at Philadelphia, you want to look at New Jersey and see the same types of benefits, right? So, so we're working with the city and the county, but in that particular acquisition, we worked with the county on the purchase, and they are going to work on the day-to-day management of the property.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Any means necessary, Samuel.
I understand.
Okay. Thanks for the question.
And I'm
Questions?
just putting up the
Thank you.
booking appointment.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to reach out to Rhonda about scheduling some time, it's on the screen right now. I can also put it in the chat.
Yes.
Thanks, Abby. Okay, anyone else? All right. Well, again, thank you all for attending the webinar. Our contact information is here. As I said in the beginning, we'll put the presentation and the slides on our Green Acres webpage, njgreenacres.org. And so you'll have the ability to play this back, share it with other members of your town and city or county. And please know that state land acquisition is open to working with you in preserving properties throughout the state. All right. Thanks again for attending. Stay well.
Thank you. So long.
But at the end of the day, when I say, trying to make sure I'm doing my best that I can with our taxpayers. I can go. Down to interest rate by and large at resident homeless, that one, but that's the sorry.
Nice job, on.
Thanks. All right. Maybe we stop, and there goes else. Especially if somebody else like Cedar Grove or somebody else that wants to stay there, boom, feel the